WWE piping in fake crowd noise shouldn't be surprising. No one should be shocked that a company as produced and as careful as WWE is at controlling narratives wants to make sure that their talent are seen in a specific way on their television program. That's why they have scripts, that's why everything on the show is so regulated, and that's largely why the company is so successful. Like, if we're being honest, WWE having so much control over what goes out on the air and what fans see is part of a larger plan to make sure that everything is timed out, everything is produced in a specific way to cater to fans' expectations, to fans' wants, and to their delight. That's why this product works so well. Now, of course, are there downsides to piping in fake crowd noise? Sure. There becomes that perception that your product is somehow less than, or your product isn't as good as you're trying to make it out to be, which is a valid criticism. I think that piping in fake crowd noise not only dilutes the real reaction, which is loud, and this is all coming from Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful.com, who does wonderful reporting, who kind of hinted that there was fake crowd noise being piped in during a Dominik Mysterio Logan Paul segment on Raw. And if you watch the show, you could tell pretty easily that that was the case because of how the sound changes. It's not just the fact that it was loud. WWE, AEW, even GCW Impact, they get loud reactions all the time, albeit to varying degrees. But you can tell when that decimal level changes very quickly, almost like someone is pushing a button to raise the volume. You can tell that that means that they're likely pumping in crowd noise. And now there's a few ways to do this. You can do this on TV, on just the live broadcast, in which case the arena crowd doesn't hear it, or you could pump noise directly into the actual arena, which NFL teams have done before. I believe the Indianapolis Colts were caught in a scandal where they actually pumped in crowd noise trying to disrupt the away team's momentum in games. So this isn't just something that's even in wrestling. This is something that apparently happens just in society. And I think that, of course, the drawbacks are there. Of course, people can say that, WWE at the end of the day and Kevin Dunn, they control the show and it is their program. And if you don't like it, you can walk away. And the reality is that pumping in fake crowd noise shouldn't really be necessary. It's good to have if you're WWE because you can make sure that that crowd reaction is as loud as possible and you're seen as this hot product, which WWE is. They're selling tens of thousands of seats for every single show they do. But, it kind of begs the question, like, why do you feel the need to do that? Because, like I said, you're selling out arenas. You are doing the best business that your company has ever done, not just with the merger, but with licensing deals, with TV rights, with the fact that you're seeing attendance just skyrocket, live gate skyrocket. To me, I think keeping the crowd noise as it is not only more genuine, but it shows you how into the product people actually are. You don't need to fake loud reactions for Logan Paul or Dominik Mysterio or anyone in the Judgment Day or anyone on that roster, because most of that roster is over like Rover. Most of that roster can garner great heat, can garner a great reaction. Look at LA Knight. LA Knight is getting some of the best live crowd reactions in wrestling today. I've heard it live. I've seen it. This guy is just so over. You would not believe it if you had never been in the same arena with him. Someone like that, like, you can't be pumping in fake crowd noise because you don't need that. Same thing with Dominik Mysterio. Is it going to be as loud in every single arena you run? No, but it's okay because it's still going to be loud. There were still boos in that arena that were drowning out what Dom and Logan Paul were saying. So at the end of the day, it just doesn't make sense to do that. Now, will WWE necessarily listen? No. I think that they're going to do what they're going to do. And this is not something that is just new and just happening now. This has been going on for a while. They would actually lower volume in certain cases when Roman Reigns was having his run at the top, because they didn't want the perception to be out there that Roman Reigns wasn't this mega over babyface who everyone in the crowd loved. When the case was, people didn't like that presentation. And you could only lie and deceive the people at home for so long before they caught on. It is very easy to tell when the crowd noise is being manipulated in any way, whether you're pumping it in, taking it out, lowering it, or whatever. People know. People aren't dumb. So, how do you fix this? Number one, you don't do fake crowd noise. And number two, if something isn't working and you're not getting the crowd noise that you want, you're not getting the reaction you want, it's a very simple fix. Try something else. Roman Reigns is the biggest example of this. When it wasn't working with him and the crowd reactions were bad, instead of trying to change him and mold him into a new star and a new character, what they did was they just manipulated crowd noise, which only heightened the hate and anger that people had towards the Roman Reigns character and WWE. But once they actually changed his character and made him more well-rounded and made him into the tribal chief, you never needed to pipe in crowd noise because he got the biggest reactions on the show. So it is possible. Hopefully they listen.